back. I know it's been a hot minute. I ain't do a video in about a month. I've been busy. But yeah, we're back today. Welcome back to Between the Number Sports. And we're gonna be talking about Tennessee quarterback. Well, he's not Tennessee's quarterback anymore, but we're gonna be talking about Nico Iamaleava. So Tennessee quarterback. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this dude's last name. This dude's last name is crazy. I'm just gonna call him Nico Lama. But Nico Lama, the former Tennessee Volunteers quarterback, is expected to hop in the transfer portal as of today. Well, the transfer portal does not open up until April 16, but his time as the Tennessee quarterback is virtually over. On Saturday morning, Coach Josh Heupel informed the team that the Vols are moving forward without Nico. A source with direct knowledge of the situation told Knox News. Obviously, the source is not going to say who they are. Probably was someone inside of the organization. But yeah, uh, now we all know that Nico was once a blue chip quarterback. He was a 5-star, highly rated, highly sought after quarterback coming out of high school, and he decided to commit to Tennessee, and that's where he played for a little while. But he is now getting ready to exit stage left, pretty much over money. So on this graphic right here, you can see, he played 18 games with 14 starts as while he was with the Volunteers. He completed 241 of 379 passes for 2,930 yards, 21 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He had 435 yards rushing with 6 rushing touchdowns, and he was the 2023 Citrus Bowl MVP. His previous NIL deal was over $2 million per year. Now they're saying that he is seeking somewhere around $4 million a year. Right now, he was the full-time starter this last season. Right, they finished, I think, 10-3, and they got to the playoffs. And we all know what happened in the playoffs. Ohio State pretty much annihilated Tennessee. I did a previous video about Tennessee, and I said that you guys can go back and check that video out. I will leave the link to that video. I said that before the season had started last season, I said I felt that like Tennessee was going to be a dark horse in SEC, only because I had heard and read about the hype of this guy coming out of high school. I seen what he did in that Citrus Bowl match, and I was just like, man, if this dude can, um, bring that into the next season with some of the, players that he had coming back with him, some of those wide receivers and stuff like that, and the head coach Josh Heupel is a offensive guru, right? He's an offensive mastermind. I was like, man, Tennessee is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And for the most part, they were. Now, he struggled in some of the big games versus tougher SEC opponents. But, again, that was his first year starting. And the offensive line didn't seem to protect him very much in key moments in games. But he had some very exciting plays. The team finished 10-3. They made it to the playoffs. And so, obviously the wheels fell off in the playoffs versus Ohio State, but it is what it is. I'm pretty sure Tennessee Volunteer fans had high hopes for this upcoming season, but to see that your star quarterback is holding out, not showing up to team meetings, not showing up to practices and stuff because he want more money, I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. Excuse my French, but that's fucked up. Now I know people are gonna say, "Oh, that's a kid." No, the days of not, being critical of these kids was over with. These guys are making a lot of money. He was making $2 million per year before he wanted the new NIL deal. I don't make $2 million a year. There's a lot of Americans that don't make $2 million a year. And this kid was making $2 million a year to play college football, and all of a sudden he says, "Oh, now I want $4 million." What they do that as way? So, after I went to a couple of the Tennessee message boards and some of the team pages, a lot of the fans are saying, "Yo, hit the road, Jack. Hit the transfer portal. We don't need you, right?" Um, and obviously, you got some fans who are not happy. They would like Tennessee to give him $4 million a year, but no, man, like no one's bigger than the program. That's bullshit. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. If y'all don't like it, it is what it is. But it's bullshit, man. You getting paid enough money, like that the previous NIL deal that he has now. When his time is all said and done, because he was a red shirt, he red shirted, so he'd have had he would have pretty much finished after he finished with Tennessee. If he would have stayed, he would have been there for 3 years, and he would have made $8 million in his 3 years while being there. And so, that's pretty good money, man. That's pretty good money. That is more than some players in the NFL that's making now, right? Some of the the lesser known players that's kind of like team guys that's on the team, but they're not um they're not superstars. That's more than some of the money that they're making, right? And so this is college football, man. So I think it's BS. I think it's bullshit. And you see my flag right here. I'm a big LSU fan. We had the same thing happen to us with Bryce Underwood, right? Bryce Underwood was committed to LSU, telling everybody that was his dream school, all of that bull crap. And here come Michigan offering him $10 million a year, and he declined. But I knew that was BS. I said this kid is declining that $10 million a year because he wants them to come back with more. And then it's reported that Michigan came back with $12 million a year, and what Bryce Underwood did, he jumped ship and went to Michigan, right? So NIL has already made college football very I would say aggravating, right? Like, every time I hear about, not these players possibly wanting to transfer or not wanting to commit anymore because they want money, it pisses me off, right? I'm all for the players getting paid. I am, because the colleges make a lot of money, but there got to be some type of guardrails on this thing. It has to be some type of guardrails. It has to be some type of something. It has to be something, because the people that suffer the most in this situation is the fans, right? A lot of us fans, we pay our hard-earned money to buy jerseys, to buy merchandise, to go to these games, and then the players, the coaches, they just up and dip, right? So I think it's BS. Now, I saw that they said some of the landing spots that could potentially seek his services is Colorado with Coach Prime, and then I seen something about Ohio State. I'm gonna say something right now, man. NIL makes players not care about their legacy in college football anymore, because it's all about the dollar bill now, and it's no more about winning championships. Winning championships have been placed on the back burner by a lot of these players. If he goes to chase a bag and go to Colorado, which I don't know why, because they have that one. I think his name Julian Love. I think the Colorado starting quarterback is. Let me look it up real fast. I'm not gonna look it up. I think that's his name. I could be wrong, but that kid is supposed to be a big time recruit coming out of high school, and he committed to Colorado. And if you go look at Colorado social media, they got all type of. It seems like they fell in love with him already. But I mean, he is fresh out of high school, so maybe Coach Prime wants to have a more seasoned player who has a lot of starts under his belt already. And if Coach Prime and them want to pay him that type of money, well, good luck on your legacy. The only thing we're going to remember you for in college football was that you were a highly recruited 5-star quarterback. You was a Heisman preseason candidate, and you abandoned your team and your teammates because you wanted more money. But you're not going to win anything at Colorado. Let's be clear, right? You're not going to win anything at Colorado. In the SEC is the biggest stage. I made it to the playoffs. You're not going to win anything at Colorado. You're not. The only thing you're going to do is get more money, and you're going to get famous on social media. That's the only thing Colorado and Coach Prime got to offer you. This drama. It's that program to me is a reality TV show. Now, if he goes to Ohio State, that obviously they're the defending champs. Ryan Day is going to be the expectations at Ohio State is going to be a national championship. I don't really think the expectations at Colorado's national championship. I really don't. I really don't. Y'all can attack me if y'all want to. I don't think the expectations at Colorado's national championship. Ohio State, yes. Now that's some of the two teams. That's the two teams I've seen getting thrown around. But who knows? Who knows? It's all about the dollar bill. Carson Beck got paid a significant amount of money, but he had to hit the transfer portal. The guy that transferred to Duke, he got paid a significant amount of money, but again, he had to hit the transfer portal. So, if these players are looking for more than $2 million, which is crazy, I can't believe I'm saying that, they're going to have to hit the transfer portal. But, Tennessee fans, let me know what y'all think. I'm on y'all side. I think it's BS, but, kudos to the coach, right? Kudos to Josh Heupel. You're not gonna hold this team hostage. We in spring ball. The Tennessee spring game is right around the corner, and we gotta know who's here with us and who's not. And so, April 16th, that's when the transfer portal opens, and I guarantee you're probably gonna see Nico hopping in the transfer portal. College is a copycat league. You saw everybody say one team say, "Oh, we're not going to do the spring game." Then you see all the teams saying they're not going to do spring games. So buckle up, because it's going to be quarterbacks and players on other teams that's going to see what he did, and they're going to do the same damn thing. They're going to say, "Oh, I'm holding out now. I'm not playing anymore because I want more money." So Tennessee fans, let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all for him trying to get more money? Y'all against him trying to get more money? Let me know what y'all think. Well, if you're just a fan of college football in general, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. As always, thanks to everyone who supports the channel by leaving a like, a comment. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. Please leave a like, a comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I got a ways to go, but hey, if you like the content that I'm putting out here, you just want to talk sports, go ahead and leave a comment, a like, and please subscribe. It really helps a lot. And until next time, I'm out.